Hello everybody and welcome to this video. In today's video we're going to look at how to write a speech. So we're looking at AQA English Language Paper 2 question 5 and the different forms of writing you might be asked to write in. In section B you might be asked to write a speech for a radio program, a hall full of people, or another situation that is stated in the question. And your speech needs to show that you are aware that you are addressing your listeners. So to do this, the easiest thing you can do is to reference your listeners throughout. And here are some of the ways that you can do that. So you need to think about your beginning, your middle, and your end. So you might begin with something like, "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming." Or, "Hello everyone, thank you for joining me on this bitterly cold afternoon." Or, "Hello listeners, this is Joe Bloggs on Radio Mr. B. Today I'm going to talk about." So you're beginning your speech in a way that is different to a letter or an article or an essay. You're actually addressing directly the people that you're speaking to. The middle then, you might want to just drift back into some references like, "I can see the lady with the hat is shaking her head. Please bear with me, I'm coming to that point now." Or, "What do I mean by this? Well," or, "You might be wondering," or, "I'm sure many listeners will agree." And of course, there are other rhetorical devices such as those in Arrested that you're going to want to build into your speech to show an awareness that you are crafting your ideas for your audience. And at the end of the speech, of course, you want to say something like, "Thank you for listening. Does anyone have any questions?" Or, "Thank you for listening to Radio Mr. B. If you have any questions, please phone, text, or email. I'd love to hear from you." That sort of thing. So it's really important that your answer when you're writing a speech has, I would say, 2 or 3 of these kind of references, direct references to the fact that it is a speech. And it's brilliant to open with one. Again, it's a bit like letter writing that we looked at in the last video. I'm sure most of you watching this video have never had to make a speech. It's just not something that we tend to do, is it? But the great thing about this is you only need to have a few of these references to it being a speech, and the rest again would be the same sort of ideas you would put into your work if you were writing an essay or a letter or an article. So the actual content of your answer will not really change much depending on the form, but you just need to make sure you're hitting the few points, and with the speech it is that reference to the fact that you are speaking to people. So if we have a little look at this example, and this is in Mr. Bruff's Guide to GCSE English Language, which is available in paperback on Amazon and ebook at mrbruff.com. So you might have something like this. "Good morning, listeners. Thank you for tuning in to Radio Mr. B to listen to the controversial subject of the role of technology in education. If you remember blackboards and chalk, you may be surprised to hear that today's schools have undergone many changes. Gone are the blackboards and OHPs, in are the iPads and interactive whiteboards. Yes, the schools of today are unrecognisable from their historic counterparts. In fact, walking through a 21st century school feels more like walking through a fancy Apple store in a shopping centre. Modern and exciting, the technological age is upon us. More than ever before, students are utilising technology to own their learning. There are exciting opportunities for your children to use technology in education. If you're a parent or a grandparent, the best interests of the younger members of your family will be at heart. Some of you will be comfortable with new technology, but other listeners might feel intimidated and overwhelmed. Well, let me help you with that. Students today need to do many things. These can all be achieved with a simple, off-the-shelf mobile phone. If you buy your child a smartphone, it really will smarten up your child." Now you can read the rest of the answer in the revision guide, but let's just have a think about how this is a speech. Well, we began with "Good morning, listeners." We had some references to the audience, if you're a parent or grandparent, and then some direct references to the listeners again, for this being on a radio station. Other listeners might feel intimidated. Now, the actual ideas in this piece, which are about the pros and cons of mobile phones in school, are the same sort of ideas that I would use if I was writing a letter or an essay or an article. So the idea is that technology can help your learning, and you can use the calculator on your phone and all of those sorts of things. But it's just that slight difference in the form that's so important for you to understand. So I hope you found this useful. Please do subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up.